working with Steve there, you also work at Revolution Martial Arts. What was that experience? Because that was his gym in Dartford or Kent.
Kent.
Yeah. Because like obviously again, like you know, you got the Fight for Peace lot are over there, Kingsley, Sabir, but then you see you're working with like other guys like Teo Adunjo's coming through there. What was I went down there a couple of times to do some footage and interviews with the guys, but what was that gym like?
So yeah, that gym again, it was a lot of people from Fight for Peace as well went there to train with Steve for obviously jiu-jitsu, for boxing, because he had boxing session. He had MMA sessions as well, and then from them we just met all other people that came from different gyms as well. So we had guys like Daniel Crawford, who was down there as well. We had Tommy Asabi, who was down there as well, training with us. So yeah, we just met different kind of styles, different kind of people, and the gym was always packed out. And again, it was just another place to learn. Hence why we were so excited to even travel down there. Cause I used to jump in my car Saturday morning. I'd pick up all the guys. We'd drive down there. So it was another exciting experience. And obviously, wherever Steve is at, Steve is always welcoming to everyone, just as is Daniel as well.
So like, you know, going through all that training, you finally make your amateur debut in 2015. How long between you training and then your amateur debut? Like, was you training for a long time before, or?
I can't remember exactly, but I think I was training for a while before, but I was still fighting. I was having Muay Thai interclubs and things like that, and I was having like jiu-jitsu competitions before I made my amateur MMA debut. So I was still fairly active, you know what I mean. And Steve as well, he was taking us to different kind of gyms. For instance, we're training at Fight Zone as well. So literally after we finished a session with Steve, he'll take us down Fight Zone to do another session. So that obviously helped us in our development and in our growth to be like the fighters that we are now.
I was talking to Stuart Austin yesterday, and he was talking. We mentioned you. He was talking about Fight Zone and the guys that would come down, and he mentioned you.
Yes, now Stuart was amazing. We go down there. He would show us some like wrestling techniques and whatnot. Even to this day now, I still go down there and I still see him and we have a chat and whatnot. So he's good people, and he's still fight. Definitely, and he's still fighting as well. So I love to see it.
So what's funny, like when you look back on your amateur debut, it's against Lone'er Kavanagh, Rise of Champions ROC. So like you won that submission. Take me about like your memories from like finally making your amateur debut. But like it's also funny because like now you guys are training partners at GB Top Team. So we could talk about Lone'er after.
So obviously I remember actually Steve sent me like a little video of Lone'er. I was like, okay, I know this guy's good. I didn't know how good he was, but I know he's good. I know he's game to fight. And Steve was like, yeah, you got to fight. Whenever he said you got to fight, regardless of whether you want to fight or not. You know what I mean? You trust in it. So took that fight. It was an ROC. Went there, done the weigh-ins. It was all good. It was a good experience. Met Brad Pickett then. To be honest, at that time I didn't even know who Brad Pickett was because I wasn't really into the MMA. I was still young, you know. I just come to fight. Regardless of who it was, I just come to fight. So done the weigh-in. It was kind of, the production of it was all good. It was very professional. I enjoyed all that side of it. Come to the fight now. The guy was tough, man. The guy was I remember that vividly. I'm telling you, the guy was tough. It was a tough fight. I go in there. He drops me for shot. He comes in. I drop him for shot. Just kind of back and forth, but I think he's winning it. Then he catches me with a few shots. Then he starts getting cocky, and he's like, come for it. So I go for it. Then, a little bit of a scramble, I get the back, and I get the choke in. But like now, that guy, is my hardest training partner.
Do you work with him a lot?
That's my training partner right now. That's my guy right now, man. Me and Lon, always going back and forth in it. He's like I said, he's my main training partner. So for jiu-jitsu, for MMA, for wrestling, usually we're partnered up, we're drilling together before fights. If we need any help, it's us two that are like together trying to push each other, you know what I mean? So the guy's full of skills and I learn as much from him as he does from me as well. And just being in that environment where Brad Pickett is there, we just soak up all the knowledge from everyone else and also from Brad himself. But Lonnie, the guy's a savage.
And like another promotion, like especially for amateurs, like you follow up with, you go like 2 fights, 2 wins for Fusion FC. And I had spoken to Will Curry about his time at Fusion and stuff. So I'm just interested in like what your time was like there as an amateur? Obviously, you picked up 2 wins there, but do you remember like?
I remember that was it was a very good show because I remember Kingsley fought on that a little bit more than me as well. So I was always there, even for my one, I was always there as well. And I think at that time, it was even allowed elbows at that time.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was even allowed elbows at that time. And I think on that specific show, obviously elbows to the body was allowed. And at that specific show, I think it was even allowed knees to the face as well. Yeah, so it was like this was time back before they made up certain rules and regulations that you can't do for amateur fights anymore. But it was a very good show. They always got like good opponents for that show as well. There was always a crowd. The atmosphere was always nice. The venue itself was always good.
It's like Epsom.
Yeah, it was in that Epsom. So to be honest, you're actually making me think back on it now. So when I do think back on it, I actually feel so privileged that I got the chance to fight such good opponents on such good shows. You know what I mean? So yeah, I definitely feel blessed.